Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of The 12, our epic campaign of discovery and adventure across the continent of Corvair. This story will stream live Sundays at 6 p.m. Central here on Javelin Entertainment, and if you missed the last session, check it out on the channel page or by clicking the link down in the description.
Last week, our heroes-to-be had their first true moral dilemma, whether to chase after their companion while weak and beleaguered, or to rest and recover, risking a grisly fate for their forlorn friend. The conundrum left them all arguing for some time. Bent, not Broko, and the crazy but caring grandfather made a compelling bid to go after Gunny, but Mother Druid and Blind Man's Buff won over the others. In the end, then led everyone back into the lower tunnels of the city to find a safe catnap. Some heart-to-hearts happened over a quiet rest as stories are shared and pasts begin to come to light. There were some emotional moments, folks. I think they're really starting to bond here. The morning also brought magical restoration to remove the madness overtaking some of their eyes, and another blood ritual brought the gift of transmogrification for an unknown price. Their wounds laced up as best as can be in the circumstances, the search is on back through the terrifying temple. The tree looms in the shadows of the magical light as they looked at the stairs stretching above and below, but the top of the canopy provided only an ominous trace of the captured companion, so down below they go. The base of the tree was a chamber grown from the roots of the great tree with a single pillar of intertwined wood pulsing with an amber light. A strange structure of metal, wood, and stone seems ominous, but as the eyes of the others were turned, ritually Arcane, maybe insane, found himself transformed into the bird creature, causing the amber light to flicker and pulse with some sort of portal. For some reason, Birdbrain thought it would be a good idea to hop right through his temporary threshold and disappear with the portal closing behind him. At this sudden departure, can't believe anyone's still alive, popped up her spyglass for a sneak peek into the past. What truly is this place they've found themselves? What happened to the bird-brained artificer? Will we ever get off this blessed island? Let's tune in to find out.
When we had last left off, Cade had been focusing her spyglass upon the central root cluster of this ancient tree and had gotten a peek into the lost city. A city from long before her myths. Gotten whispers of Elysium, the gateway to the heavens, the city of celestials. Whispers of prosperous wealth and endless happiness. Whispers of a darkness that had come. A darkness that was put within light. The seed that was trapped and buried within the precious protected city of old. This darkness buried so low that it would be forever forgotten. This was something older than anything she had seen before. This root, this tree was centuries, if not millennia old. Some civilization surrounded it, built and protected this place in hopes that it would stay forgotten. As this all begins to dawn on her as she siphons through what is being pulled from the spyglass, there is this bright flash of light as everyone just turns and pulls away, their eyes kind of covered as the light just encompasses the roots all around, and suddenly, forcefully, there is a figure thrown from the roots and slamming into the far wall. As each of you blinks and adjusts your eyes, there you see the body of Broko, now in his returned to his true form, beaten and bruised and slightly burnt. Broko, you took 10 points of radiant damage and another 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouch. Yeah.
Sorry, administrative note while people think about that. I'm looking at the stream and my camera is showing up in the
I'm trying
camera
to fix
thing,
that,
but not in the stream.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out what's going on there.
Okay. It had flickered in past episodes, but so I'm wondering if it's a problem with my camera, but it's just solidly off now. Sorry. Continue, Bird Brain.
Yeah, Broko, you alright there?
Yeah. Broko just sort of lays there for a moment, just like sprawled out and smoking.
Clyde's just gonna walk over. Doesn't seem like that was such a smart idea now.
But when you walk up and you see Broko, he does look extremely injured, but he doesn't look upset. He sort of looks like he had just like been wakened from an amazing dream. For the first time, like muscles in his face that have never been used before to show like a hint of joy appear.
You're one of them. That'll be fine. It's okay. Do you want to deal with this yourself, or would you like a little bit of what'll cure you?
Cure what ails you?
It's the ale that cures you.
Broko is going to take a moment, and
But
he's
your wits now.
going to do his best to try to explain what he saw. Starting out, he's just going to say, "What lies through this portal is unlike anything I have ever seen before."
You saw the heavens.
Yes,
You know what he saw.
I did.
Yeah, Kate just looks a little like stunned, and like the spyglass is. It's not tucked away because Kate normally like looks at something, tucks it away. It's just kind of like chilling out in her hands, just like, yeah, just like a little bit of a stunned expression.
Well, if either you would like to inform the rest of us what the big thing is, I think I'd like to know what happened.
It's a portal.
Okay.
I
I
think
can
we
tell
noticed
that.
that.
It's
Well, it doesn't seem like much of a good portal to spit Broko right out.
Perhaps we should be grateful that it is not a good portal. Otherwise, he would have been
We're trying to
lost.
get off the island.
Beyond the portal, there was a landscape. It was so beautiful. And he sort of lets that thought hang there, and he says, "What ousted me from this portal was like some comet from the sky. It was very strange. It does not seem I belong there. But the question is, why is that portal being used by these creatures?"
I couldn't say. I did discern some information that. Okay. And Kate just kind of like sits down on a step real quick. So, Elysium, it was the gateway to the heavens, where celestials lie, or their realm, I suppose. And this, kind of just like pointing around, this was their city. Evidently, though, it was prosperous, which seems like a given the size of everything. But something dark, something evil was brought here and sealed away. And it seems like it wasn't sealed away good enough. I imagine that what they hoped they could bury most likely corrupted the place. City of Angels.
Oh, wait, hold on.
How do you know this? You just looked at your eyeglass and you just... That seems real convenient. Where can I get one of them?
What
It's
Short
just a
and
gift.
Loud said. All of it.
It's
Sorry, Clyde. Old habits.
Cade kind of rolls the eyeglass on her fingers, collapses it, and tucks it away again. It was a gift.
Best damn
Rob?
things always are.
Hey, okay,
I think we're
from
missing
a
the
person,
bigger
from an
picture.
entity. We had someone given a gift, and we had to cut it out surgically.
Oh, well,
Not
no.
a gift.
It was a gift from someone I trust.
Someone without tentacles on their face.
Yes.
A low bar for trust, but a fair one.
Low but accurate.
We're gonna meet some poor octopus people, and we're gonna be so racist against them. It's gonna be awful.
He'll be fine. They'll only have to worry about it for a little while until we murder them all.
I just think we're missing the bigger picture. Was there a bunch of oceans around where you popped through?
There wasn't there? It was like
No, you didn't see any water at all, I don't
For
think.
the oceans of sky.
Okay, so here's the plan. Instead of taking the boat, we do the port. It seems much safer.
Clyde's just gonna look at Broko. Crisp. I imagine still singed and maybe sizzling a little bit.
Bacon.
And still crumpled against the wall.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be a great idea, Sindri.
Also,
does Clyde still have his flask out?
Absolutely. He's been holding it the whole
Oh,
time,
yeah.
waiting for it to take.
From beneath Clyde, Broko just reaches up and grabs.
Yeah, you look like you need a little bit of that.
and just for reference, so the portal that was there again is no longer kind of active. There's that orange amber center, and it was kind of overtaken by this black and blue and purple and pink and green portal that had kind of apparated and flickered, and when Broko had passed through in the bird form, it had collapsed after him, and it has not reopened. Even when Broko appeared, you never saw the portal. There was just the blinding light.
So they seem real unstable.
Judging by the fact that it turned your 10-foot pole into a 5-foot pole, I'm amazed that Broko survived.
It still seems safer than the ocean.
I heartily and respectfully disagree. I've lived
Yes.
my entire life on the ocean.
That is
The
very
ocean is
impressive.
terrifying.
I have so much more respect for you.
The ocean
I
is
cannot imagine what
terrifying.
you've been through.
And rightfully so. But we have a great breadth of knowledge dedicated to how to survive the ocean. We have zero knowledge except for one crisp half man, half tree,
Other than
and his recent singeing experience on how to survive this portal. And his experience says, we are not wanted there.
And Sindri, to top that off, that's not our home. That's somewhere very elsewhere. And not really sure if we could get back to this area, our world.
Well,
you don't have to sell it any further. This does sound like an amazing adventure.
And
We
Nicholas,
are
is you?
hearing Nicholas twice.
I don't know why
I
he
need a
always has
ninja.
to mute. It works for everybody but him.
Yeah, it's definitely coming through the ninja.
yeah.
Why? I blame the DM.
Same.
Now I heard my own echo. What the hell?
The DM is responsible for all issues and problems and things that go wrong. The players are responsible for everything that goes right.
I don't want to hear it. I was quite literally
Yeah, isn't it
smited by the
disclaimer?
DM just now. So
But it wasn't a rock, it was a holy fist that literally slapped you back through the portal.
You got
Did
bitch
you
slapped through the portal.
good point.
Is that better?
There we go.
But so,
Yeah.
okay, now the Boko's looking, he's looking a little better now. You said something about the Celestials caging something here or keeping something here? That doesn't seem like anything we want to get involved in.
And it appears it has gotten out.
Well,
This is
I
the
don't.
thing.
It's nothing. I'm not given a written history of everything. Just kind of an overall picture. It was a darkness, a seed of corruption. It was trapped. It was buried. Is what I was kind of given. So maybe that thing. And then I'm gonna point at like that orb in the chair that we saw that was giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
The evil entombed sword claw chair. Where's that picture?
Yeah, back across on the far end of this chamber is that construct of metal and stone and wood that is just ominously sitting behind, just completely in contrast to everything else that is here.
No, don't get me wrong. I don't know a lot about celestials, just kind of general vibe here, but that doesn't feel very celestial.
No, sure as all hells don't.
Is there any, out of curiosity, any sort of script or writing around the
Yeah,
throne?
is there anything on this?
You can make me an investigation check.
Okay. I'm gonna whisper a quick prayer for guidance and also for I'm not going to touch anything. Please don't let it touch me.
Clyde's gonna hand you the 5-foot pole.
He'll take it.
It is now just a walking stick.
Please tell me that you have the 5-foot pole in your inventory now.
Please tell me
No,
it was like
you
the
do.
10 and like markedly scratched out with 5 above it.
No, I'm gonna tell you full honesty. There was a time last session I forgot I had it, and you guys reminded me. I was like, oh yeah.
Ah, there it is. Global skill modifier. Guidance. Turn it on. Investigation.
You have a stick.
Wow.
Nice.
30.
That's pretty damn good.
Okay.
It could have been higher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry for breaking your game already.
This is the moment where Roland opens his other eye. And all of a sudden
It's a flashlight so he can see.
this is
Point
like
of
the
order.
Sharingan being awakened right now. This is what's happening.
Left eye. Point of order, just for everyone's reference. The left eye is always open. You have never seen it close. It's just a milky white
Oh, disgusting.
with a scar peeling the tissue back and keeping the.
So
eye
it's this like really dried out, crusty white thing in your face.
Yeah, that's a little unsettling.
No, I think the eyeball is still there. It's just the nerve is no longer functioning, so he can't see.
No, but if it
right?
doesn't blink, it means it's got all dried out and solid.
He has.
He carries eye drops.
Yeah, no, actually, DM
In the background,
I have a
everybody-
That's what the Schalt is for the steam tank. You just a little steam in your eyes every now and then.
I legitimately have an idea for like him having
Exactly.
eye drops that I didn't quite write into my backstory, but it is in my head as he carries eye drops with him, essentially.
That's
Oh, it should have just been a
amazing.
lizard person. Licked your eyeball every now and then.
So Shalt just builds him a little windshield wiper.
Oh my god!
That is cute.
Terrifying.
I could
Make
build
it
you
reality.
one, but I don't think you would like it.
So, Roland, as you begin to take a moment and inspect this, as everyone is discussing, thinking, trying to talk through this, you're just intricately looking over every detail of this. And again, what is most apparent, what is most readily apparent, is that this structure is much more obvious in that it was manufactured than everything else you've seen. Most of the thanks.
I have more if you need them.
No, most of the things that you've seen in this city have been smooth and flawless with no signs of any sort of structure or tool. This one, there are many. All of these pieces, from the staircase to the chair, throne-like chair at the center, all show signs of tooling, of manufacture, of carving and breaking and turning and shifting materials. And all of it is rough. All of it has uneven edges. All of it is inaccurate measurements. All of it is very not hastily put together, but without proper tooling, without proper manufacturing methods. This would look decent, but to your eye, there are so many flaws, so many inconsistencies, so many things that are just off and uncomfortable, from the floorboards not being the same size, not being the same space, just things that up until now you hadn't realized had been this weird subconscious just ease and wonderful feeling. But every single step that you've stepped on has been the exact same height. Every single stone has been the exact same shape. Every single tile, every single brick, every single piece, exactly perfect. This is
heaven.
Stark contrast.
Elysium. Yeah, no, as he starts noticing all of the just like little irregularities, his good eye starts twitching slightly.
And
I wish I could unsee all of those.
Yes, and now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. It's just like
It's slightly off kilter.
You're so used to perfect steps that you start tripping on the uneven stairs.
And there is the first bits of real manipulated metal that you've seen. This is almost akin to a brass, and it has been forcibly pulled and turned and manipulated, and it shows strenuous tears and cracks and stress points of something that has been pulled and unnaturally manipulated with magic. And it is beautiful. The curves of this metallic structure on the back form this oblong shape that is just the smoothness of it is unnaturally, eerily beautiful. And while you don't see anything written anywhere, there is very clearly a void in the structure. In the center of this structure, there is supposed to be something encompassed, some sort of sphere-like object that is roughly 3 to 4 feet in diameter. And it's empty. There's nothing there right now.
Oh, that's not good.
So, a dark seed planted, sealed here for the protection of celestials, which would, I believe, match somewhere around the size of that hole, where there is currently obviously no seed entombed.
Yeah, that seems like a bad thing.
Does anyone see Gale?
No.
Well, he's dead. Real shame. He will be missed. We should get out of here.
Where do you propose we go? If this is some home of celestials, why would they need boats? If they could
Build
just come.
one, just not here.
Well, my next suggestion is attempt to find the other people in the city. It was suggested that there might be people in this city that could help us. So maybe we find them, and maybe they can tell us what the bad creature is, and if there's a way to get off this island.
You know what? I like that plan a lot right now.
In any case, we should not be here.
Oh yes, 100% agreed.
Here, bad. Portal. Sinji.
Gone.
You would leave Gale to be killed by this creature.
We came down here to find him. He is not here. We should leave this room.
Is this the bottom?
You don't see any way to continue further.
You said there was a giant, like, suspended seed in the middle of the room too, right?
So it's
There
like
was supposed to be, but the seed's gone.
so.
I thought that was the.
Yeah, so that's the back construct.
Oh.
The center of this room is this kind of spire of roots that are twisted, and in the center is where that amber glow emits from, where that portal came from.
It's like the bulb of the tree,
Yeah, exactly.
I guess.
Glowing.
If I stand up and approach that amber thing again, does anything happen?
Step forward, kind of shakily on your feet, and nothing seems to happen.
Oh, and while we're on the matter here, why did you suddenly turn into a bird creature?
Broko looks at Cade and deadass just goes, I do not know.
Cade, you turned into a spider yesterday, and he grew legs yesterday as well. Are you gonna question this too much more?
I will.
Okay, I'm questioning.
Yeah, I
Just
will
a big
have
part.
Broko roll me a deception check on that one.
Oh.
Yes!
Fudge.
Okay.
Oh, but here comes the druid. Sure.
I mean, I could roll low. Yeah, I roll low.
Good.
Like that.
You're just weird.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
very weird.
Yes,
very
absolutely.
Checks.
But I am gonna go. My response is still this, because I don't really care about his lying or whatever. It's just okay. That's weird. People transform into other things all the time. That's not that strange. But turning into the exact creature that's been fucking with our minds and is running around this island free range, that's a little strange.
This
Got you there.
is true. However, you have seen me fight alongside you against these hound creatures. They have attacked me the same as you.
Oh, they've attacked you.
Technically, I have not seen you fight the bird, though. I was blind, but still.
This is true. However, you have seen the bird command the hound creatures, yes?
I am half messing with you, but theoretically it would be a very good cover to have your creatures attack you as proof that you are not random.
True, albeit a more painful route of gaining your trust.
You have proven yourself proficient with illusion. You could have made the wounds illusory.
You may inspect them if you wish.
He's gonna walk
Just-
up and inspect the wounds.
And as I imagine Rolla just walks up and goes, sticks
Yeah,
a finger in it, and
basically, resorting to the poke method. Let's see here.
Poker just goes,
He's got some
Ow.
medical training. He's a cleric.
Yeah, and the wounds, again, he's mostly bruised and kind of singed than anything else, but they seem to be intact. It doesn't seem to be any.
He's squishy.
It doesn't
I do
seem to
still
be.
have a vicious wound, like sundered armor and everything
Yes,
from
yeah,
the
his
critical
shoulder
hit.
is still like bleeding and sore, but from the portal, there doesn't seem to be any lasting effects.
Oh, I'm not looking for the portal. I'm looking for pupper bites.
Yeah.
Pupper bites.
The bite on his shoulder is deep and it looks brutal. And as you kind of squeeze into that, Broko, why don't you go ahead and take 1 point of necrotic damage?
And then Broko is gonna grab Roland's wrist and move it back and just go. And if I may remind you, I am the only one who has yet to strike another here. Looking straight into Roland's face.
I haven't hit you, but
I've hit him.
I don't
I hit
like you yet.
I also haven't hit you or anyone.
I'm not concerned that you are the 9-foot creature. I am concerned that you are randomly changing into something similar to it. This island is strange, and now it seems to be affecting you. We had blindness earlier, and now we have sudden transformations.
That is kind of suspicious.
Broko is going to look to Cade, and he hasn't actually looked at Cade for a very long time, but he'll look to Cade and he'll say, I can show you the real reason, but it will have to wait for tonight. It requires some time to set up. But
Okay,
only if you wish.
Cade's gonna look Broko dead in the eyes and just say, is it something you have under control, or is this something happening to you against your will that will endanger the rest of us?
Completely honestly, Broko is going to say, I do not know yet.
Cade kind of grimaces and is just like, okay, just another thing to deal with this band of fucking misfits that fell from the sky.
Right on your boat.
We destroyed your ship.
Yeah, Cade's just gonna be like, damn it, oh, and then just gonna walk towards the exit like, I'm done with all this bullshit, you guys are just,
I mean, technically the ship was borrowed. Without permission.
Type borrowed.
The ship was acquired, that's all you know, Cade was on a ship. Let's just get out of here. We can look for any signs of Birdman and missing shipwrecky, but I think like Roland said, skedaddle, let's get out of here.
Yes, we are here for Gale. He is not in this room. We should leave this room and look further for Gale elsewhere.
And DM, there's no sign of anyone's been in here with Gale. No heart blood stains on the ground somewhere.
You can roll a perception check if you want.
Sure.
We're gonna go back up the stairs and find Gale being operated on the table now that we've left the table alone upstairs.
So, with Roland's description of the throne, does the recess match any objects that we've seen so far?
Roll an intelligence check.
That's a 9.
No.
Not that you can remember.
Unfortunate.
So the answer is 9.
Wow.
And Clyde, you look around
Can we give
and
him disinspiration?
I don't know. I like that one. I thought that was good. You look around and you don't see any immediate signs of any of Gale or anything else, really.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think this is a place we
Up the stairs.
should be.
Up the stairs we go.
All right. And you all pass up the stairs and back out of the staircase and find yourself once again in that massive chamber of this towering tree.
Check the table real quick. Has there been a recent operation?
You don't see anything on the table, no.
Okay. That's
What about that side room where we found the bird operating or
on
mixing
the
stuff?
paralytic?
Yeah, above the garden.
Yeah, would you like to go take a look?
If we're on our way out of the temple, maybe stop in to see.
Do a cursory glance, just in case. We'd feel bad if we didn't and he was there getting dissected.
Yeah, I mean, we are looking for Gale, legitimately. Like,
Yeah,
we should stop in places where we've seen the bird that was vivisecting people.
I think we should probably visit the areas where there have been the tables too, because I think there were like 3 of them in this building, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are there any unfortunate creatures that stepped on the paralytic poison?
Not that you can see.
We walk in and it's like an industrial-sized mousetrap.
And in fact, you haven't seen any animals since coming into Elysium.
Yeah, all stone doesn't lead to a lot of life naturally.
There's plenty of plant life, especially on the surface and even within.
I take insult to that. Stone is a great proprietor of survival. You can hide in it, you can build with it, it's great, you can smash things with it.
Yeah, for most
It
things,
also presents
eating's
some things for
important.
being smashed.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of wins with having
So,
stone.
wait, Dave, we haven't seen any life since we came in here?
No.
We
Oh,
did
I
see
take that
somebody
back.
creeping through the hole, through the
Yeah.
Besides that
right?
person.
Cade saw one humanoid, and that was it.
But they were in the city.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like,
No birds,
insects,
no
roaches.
insects, no mice.
So I'm going to be, as we search, I'm going to be looking for evidence of another gunslinger having been present. Powder on the floor if he loaded a firearm. The scorch.
dropped casings.
Yeah, I don't think we're up to casings and technology, but yeah, that kind of idea.
Mm-hmm.
He's shooting steam out of a revolver. You're going to tell me technology? What?
That's magic.
Hey, don't you be dissing my tech.
Okay, yeah, roll me an investigation check as you're kind of moving along. And you guys move back towards where the garden was. And what's at first...
Damn,
Yeah,
you are just seeing everything.
That roll.
It's just that you're just
is
good at this.
Exactly, perfectly below average. That's a 10 on the D20, which is exactly perfectly below average, and a 2 on a D4, which is exactly perfectly below average.
Damn, one day Clyde will like roll enough to give him bardic inspiration.
He's given Broko inspiration, so that says a lot.
Broko's weird, but that's fine.
You could have stopped that sentence right there, and we all would have been cool with it. He is just weird.
I just kind of want to see.
Boko's weird. Yes, thank you, Captain Obvious.
No shit, Sherlock.
And Cade gets inspiration because Cade's scary.
But yes, upon kind of retracing your steps back to where the garden shrine was, you do see the shrine intact, those same bioluminescent plants nearby, and the table empty and open.
Is there still shit all over the floor?
Looking at where the kind of spill was, whatever was there, it's no longer wet and easily seen. It's either dried or become semi-translucent over time.
I'm a go poke with the 5-foot pole.
Also, DM, this glow plants, are they the type you could take with you, or are they like a glowing lichen?
Like unto a... Sorry.
So theoretically, you could try to take one with you. They don't appear to be growing like from dirt or anything. They're kind of growing onto something, so in that way they're kind of akin to a lichen.
I'm gonna try and scrape some off into like a container. Let's see, what do I have? My lamp's empty. I'm gonna try and fill my lamp with this lichen.
Okay, so just kind of scooping it into the lamp.
Sure. A heat source that's not gonna set me on fire.
Yeah, and you do actually, as you're kind of moving it, you do feel a faint bit of heat coming from it. And as you kind of scoop it in, the light kind of begins to soften slightly, but it's still there, and you kind of close it within the lamp, and you've got a small, it's much dimmer. It's maybe about 10 foot bright, 10 foot dim light, but it's certainly something.
Yeah.
And Roland, as you've been looking around, you didn't see any signs of evidence of firearms. No sort of smoke powder or any sort of other accelerant. And you also don't really see too much on the table, and that's immediately a change in your head, because last time you all had left a metal pot here, a big cauldron, some other things across the table, and there's none of that.
We should have taken the pot with us. It kept things magically warm.
And now what you see is a pattern in thick dark crimson scattered across the surface of this table. And you kind of move up with the stick and kind of poke along the ground. And there does seem to be some remnants of a sticky substance in front of that table where Broko had made the spill. But it does seem to be fairly translucent.
Away from it, as I am currently holding this arm right here and guiding the stick with it, because it still hasn't been 24 hours yet. So just yep, there's a remnant there. We're gonna sidestep that, and shit, there's blood on the table.
Does he say that out loud?
No, that was me. He's poking around with the stick, also looking for it's fairly clear to see that the scene from the previous day has been cleaned up and there's a new scene, right?
Yep.
So you would hear at most from him just a sigh. And you'd see him very carefully avoiding the spot on the ground where the potion had spilled.
Do you see something, Roland? You seem conflicted.
Any sign of Gale?
I hope not. But the scene has changed from the one we interrupted previously.
There wasn't blood on the table last time, was there? When he was working on the paralytic?
No, there wasn't.
Was working on the paralytic?
I don't think so, no.
Roland will step up to the table and take a look at the blood and see how fresh it was.
Yeah, Roland.
Do the old lick test.
You look over, and the blood itself,
do that.
It's a darker crimson. It's had time outside of a body for some time. And you do kind of think back, and there was a cauldron of a crimson liquid that was stewing nearby on this table before.
Oh.
Any sign where they went, Roland? In the
Just
best time
looking at the crimson real quick before I answer Clyde, looking at the crimson liquid, is there a way to determine that it is in fact blood? Or if it is not blood?
You can roll me a medicine check.
Lick test, I told you. Give it a go.
Okay. Could be blood, could not be.
Yeah, with
raspberry jam.
Something right now, it's a bit difficult without using an identify or without risking touching it and examining it further. At least visually, it looks kind of like it, but there's also something about it that seems, I don't know, different. As Roland is looking over this, what are the rest of you all doing?
Standing back at a safe distance. I already got smited once.
Cade's just keeping any eye out for movement. But like as soon as Roland's done checking it out, like keep moving on just to the next place so they can get out of here.
Clyde wants to see if there's anything else that's different in this room. If cauldron's been changed and things have been taken.
Yeah, sure. Roll me a perception check.
Sure.
Is there any metal on this area?
No, there's not on this one.
We peeled it off previously, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't
It's
this one.
wrapped around the shelf.
I forget which one you peeled away.
But it wasn't replaced. That's a good point.
So looking around, Clyde, you don't see anything different. In
10
fact,
foot, 10 foot is not really good to see.
you look over and you even see the body of the hounds back where they fell. They haven't been moved, and they don't.
Been disturbed.
Yeah, they haven't been disturbed at all.
Kind of surprised they haven't turned the goo. That's all I was curious to see if anything had changed.
So while they're doing that, if I remember correctly, this part of the room was sort of elevated up above the gardens, right? And there's like a little pathway that leads up to it, almost like a catwalk.
Mm-hmm.
Can I glance down beneath us and see what's down there?
Yeah, you glance down and there is a small, it's kind of like a recessed area. And in the middle is kind of a slightly elevated platform, and that platform is above, whereas everything else is kind of in this liquid. It looks like water that is overgrown with lily pads and small plants. And then that central platform is raised above the water.
So just idly and mostly curiously, Boko's going to reach over. Are there any like loose pebbles around here that he can grab?
I would say probably. There's probably some debris.
And just like place a hand against it, whisper into it, and cause it to just emit light, and just drop it into the water.
Small little. As it settles down, it's only about 6 or 7 inches, maybe.
Bit shallow.
As long as it didn't disappear into the jaws of some nasty creature, I think we're okay.
Still could.
Always a good time. 6 or 7 inches doesn't disappear into the jaws of a nasty creature. Sorry, I'm done.
The night's still young. We've only been here an hour.
The night is young.
Oh.
But I have this stream marked as mature, right?
Yeah.
It is now.
Not for kids.
I don't know what else we're gonna find here.
Look, if there's no sign of Gale, I say we just keep moving on. There's no point in dallying around this place.
I agree.
And with that, you all give a quick investigation around the temple, examining the 2 other shrine sites and finding them in similar status. No sign, no evidence of Gale or the creature or anything else for that matter. And the shrine's all in the same condition. Nothing on the surface except for these patterns in this dark crimson fluid.
Wait, patterns as if something has been drawn?
More or less, yeah.
Oh. Is it writing or glyphs?
Neither that you can tell, but you haven't taken a close look.
If it's something that's been drawn just very briefly, Roland is going to pull out like a sketchbook and a notebook and just like sketch the general pattern.
Okay.
Just to have a reference for later.
Yeah, sure thing. It's fairly easy to copy. They are not quite identical. Roland would especially notice this, but they do all have similar structure.
Okay, well, we're not seeing any sign of Gale, so head in the direction of the humanoid I saw and hope that they're relatively friendly.
Or that they have Gale, yes.
Well,
that's a little less likely.
Personally, I'm kind of hoping they don't have Gale, because if they have Gale, then that likely means they're not friendly.
Or they rescued him and they're very friendly and they have a boat and we can get off this blasted island.
Well, isn't that optimistic?
I have my moments.
So yeah, I guess we're gonna head back underground to see if we can, like, pop back out and head in the direction of where I saw the humanoid figure walking around.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you all begin to move out of the temple and back into this tunnels beneath the city, wandering your way until finally you come out of that massive entryway. The large doorway that you had once passed down really only a day before, though it seems like much longer, and back out into the city streets of this abandoned place. And heading in the direction kind of slightly off from the docks towards where you had seen someone moving. You make it past the streets and the air is quiet and the sky above you is dark, shining with the light gray and yellow lights of the moon's most full at the moment. But the city looks just as empty as ever in this early morning.
Are we still seeing a lot of, like, the same, like, get stone structures, but no furniture, not seeing any, like, anything else besides stone? Is it much the same?
Yes, it is. And many of these structures are kind of built into and around each other. Outside of a few set-aside structures like the one with the large open doorway that you had ventured into, all of these buildings are kind of blended together in these large walls that seem to rise up, towering above the streets. There's no doors, only doorways, these open windows and large platforms and courtyards, and everything here is open and tall and exposed and so quiet.
And there is nothing here except for like the stone remnants, right?
As far as you can tell, and the plant life that is overgrown.
And we haven't seen any sign of anything else that would have been organic aside from this strange plant-like, because you said they were almost like vines, right?
We did, well, besides the humanoid we saw.
But even like wooden furniture of any kind?
No furniture, no objects, whether wood or stone or metal make. There is nothing outside of what is connected to the walls and the plants that are breaking through. And it's not just one kind of plant. There are multiple
up top,
plants.
You said there was a lot of weathering on the stone, though, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so anything organic could have just wasted away.
Working theory, everything was just raptured at one point.
Or this island flooded. Only takes one hurricane.
Merged.
I'm a little more worried about the fact there's no critters anywhere.
Except the hounds.
They don't count.
I mean, there's puppies on the island.
And
Not
you
if
have-
Sindri has anything to say about it.
You have seen other animal life on the island, just not within the city.
Yeah,
Looking-
in the stone confines here.
Looking up, are there any birds around us in the sky or flying overhead?
Giving a quick glance, you don't see any.
How many? Are there any mosquitoes?
You look and listen, no bugs of any kind.
It is paradise.
Stay here.
Bird monster and everything.
All right, I think that's 2 votes for staying here forever. That's
I'll
Sindri and
take-
Roland.
Yeah, no,
I've already voted,
I'll
but
take
it's done
birds over
working.
bugs any day.
But we saw birds on the island, right?
Correct.
They were all
There's
over
just
the
nothing
place.
in this.
Yeah, it's here in the stone confines of this. Maybe it might be an aura of the seed, or it might even be this thing's hunting grounds. We don't know.
Oh, why?
Maybe they're not that bad after all. They keep the mosquitoes away.
Like bats.
Yeah, but the fact that there's no other life's a bit concerning.
So have we made it to roughly kind of the area that I had spotted movement?
Yeah, it takes a couple hours winding through the lower levels and a couple hours winding through the city streets, and you kind of reach this point that is not the docks, but is slightly off to the side, and you can just see a bit of light on the horizon of the sun just starting to peek up as you kind of reach this rough location, kind of basing it on one of the larger buildings that you had seen from up above. And looking up, you can still see the tree that is grown out up at the top of the city.
It's okay. What you plan on finding them from here?
Well, hope that they leave some trace of their existence.
Can we just yell for them?
But I said we can make some noise. I'm a mean whistler, and a whistle carries on the stone.
Ooh, I'd like to hear that.
And there's no chance that there are any footprints, right? Because
You know what?
the streets are made of stone.
Yeah, there's some dust and sand that is accumulated just from the erosion and dirt, but looking across, you don't see any footprints.
Here, I can do a real special whistle. No one else like me. Clyde's gonna stick 3 fingers in his mouth. And it's a whistle that has 3 different pitches that wane and wax differently because of his crooked, broken smile.
Go ahead and give me a performance check, Clyde.
I would love to.
Bard's first performance check. Hey!
It's not bad.
So yeah, there is this loud whistle that starts out at 1, kind of a second comes in, and then a third, and they all begin to woo as it adjusts, as the air just shoots through. You all are kind of blown back. It's almost like a musical instrument in itself, and it is quite impressive, and it rings out through these hollow stone city.
What musical instrument are you proficient in? Missing teeth.
Well, my banjo got left behind.
Yeah, I was gonna say it comes with the banjo proficiency.
This sounds like it's already started the song. Oh, my banjo left me there, and I'm singing.
No. Clyde's gonna have a whole song about his missing cart. Poor Henrietta.
Look, your truck couldn't leave you, so you had to have the banjo leave you.
Fair.
I seen trouble on my days.
Oh. Halflings love their home, their small joys, and all of his small joys were on that cart.
But given that
You're drifting into Amazon version of Lord of the Rings halflings here.
I guess given that very intense whistle, Kate's just gonna eyes like a hawk look around and see if she spots any movement.
Sure, give me a
Same
perception
page.
check.
Mm-hmm. It's also same.
You can roll it at advantage, Cade.
Okay, let's see what we got.
We'll just capture
Got
that one.
all our eyes looking.
Cinder's still just looking at stone.
Nice.
Not too
That's
shabby.
a nice rock.
No, that's Sindri.
Gives him a
Tree
pat.
is indeed a nice boulder.
Yep. Bad. To ride them for days.
So, Cade, looking out across, you kind of scan from one side to another, and you see actually movement among the houses, and then it registers as you see kind of Sabine's form cloaked in the shadows as she's kind of following along the edge of you all. You don't see much else. And then suddenly something hits you. You'd almost gone right by it because it looks so normal, and then you realize how this is the first one you've seen, but it is a small bird sitting maybe 100 feet up on one of the ledges, hardly moving. Looks like a small chickadee, almost. A small plump bird with brown and white feathers. But what's strange about it is it has these small antlers that are growing out of its head.
We're out. Never mind. This is worse than bugs.
Hey, I can do antler birds. That's kind of cute.
Kate's gonna turn and just turn towards the bird and look up. And just kind of like look at it kind of intently, and does it move or fly off at all?
It stays stone still.
Okay. Hello there. We don't mean any harm.
Sorry.
And
We
it's
don't mean any
still
harm.
it's still about 100 feet away. Are you talking loud enough to try and get it to hear you?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk a little closer and just like hands up toward and like walk towards the bird and just be like, "We don't mean any harm.
Kate sees something.
Can you help us?"
Oh, nope. Kate's gone insane.
And it's not
Are you
until you
tripping me?
see a rustle of feathers as the bird begins to flap and fly off that you all suddenly realize what Cade was trying to talk to. And it's like, why are you talking to a bird? There is something that was living here.
We don't have the best history with birds.
The little one I'm not worried about too much.
Until it turns into a big one.
You throw that
Doesn't
big?
happen with everything. It only happens with gator flies,
Speak
and that's it.
for yourself.
It's the first bird we've seen, and it was staring rather intently at us. And in my experience, birds that hang around and stare rather intently are usually either bound to someone else's service or they are someone.
You can
Perhaps
turn into
been spied
birds?
on.
God, things just
Quite
don't keep
figured
getting
out that
changing.
movement yet. Flying's actually a bit tricky to learn, just for your reference.
But you can learn. How do I learn how to fly?
You flap real hard.
Oh no.
It involves water.
So, give him a steam-powered jetpack. Come on, Cedric.
Yeah, you see, flying is much like swimming, just in the air. So if you can learn how to swim in the water really well, like Kate has, then the next step is learning how to swim in the air.
I'm not sure this is worth it anymore.
And Roland will look over at Kate and give a quick wink, and then turn away.
How can you tell? How
it's
can
Roland,
you
so
tell it's a wink?
It's a blink.
It's with the cheek twitch, right? Like a blink is that, a wink is.
Yeah.
Broko is just gonna say, well, Perhaps we should check the docks, as was our original intent here.
I'm not opposed, but maybe we wait just a little bit.
See if that whistle actually triggered anyone, maybe?
Okay, what type of bird you see? Maybe I do a lot of bird whistling. Maybe I can get the song down.
Well, I think it's less of that, and like I said, it
A bird?
might be someone's scout.
Perhaps 20 minutes of resting. Maybe a bit longer.
Maybe a full hour.
No need yet.
Not 57 minutes.
If we're hunkering down here for a little bit, Roland is going to go ahead and find a nice quiet place to
We should be able to step
with a
into one
vantage
of these
point to hide
buildings.
in, just a little ways away.
Yeah, there are plenty of towers and buildings that rise up.
If we're gonna spend nice. If we're gonna spend some time here, I think
slips.
Boko's been stuck on this complete absence of fauna, but this strange plant life that has been growing here. And so if they're gonna spend an hour, he's gonna break out some of his alchemy tools and actually cut down some of these plants, submit them to a few tests, and see if they have some durability beyond what's natural.
He's real sneaky. Up there. He's allergic to something.
And as far as you all can tell, on at least Roland kind of disappears up into the buildings, and you, looking around, don't have sight of him. Roland, you kind of find this spot and you kind of pull into this corner that has a good view of where the rest of the group is, and kind of a few streets that lead into it. And it's kind of this little nook in one of the buildings that gives you a decent vantage point.
Okay. I was expecting that, like, I climbed something and a rock gave out and I went kaboom.
Please don't do that.
Now I'm off on my own and exposed. Excellent.
Is there
Completely hidden, though, right?
is there anyone else
I'm
who's
completely hidden this way. The enemy is coming from back here.
Is there anyone else who's doing anything in this hour that you have to rest? To take this rest?
Clyde
Just
will
checking
talk
out
to
the plates.
Broko this whole time about old times. And
Just keep an
about
eye
what
on
he
the
saw.
surroundings, I think.
Give him a nice song of rest if we're going to be here a full hour.
Sure. That's up
I
to you
think
all.
Broko would like that 1d6 hit points.
Oh, absolutely.
Does it look like you can get to, like, the roof of one of the nearby buildings easily?
Probably easy enough.
That's what I needed.
Okay.
You might have to do a bit of climbing.
Yeah, Cade will just, like, we'll kind of just, like, go inside and try and, like, get relatively maybe to the roof of a building and kind of just sit on a perch just to kind of just see the alleyways relatively nearby and see if anyone's going to come and approach them, or maybe they're just going to scout us, so just see if anything comes towards us.
All right. Go ahead and roll me another perception check, Cade. In the meantime, Broko, you're kind of performing some basic alchemy on these materials, and the different plants, vines, they don't seem to have any unnatural resilience. You don't notice any special properties about them either. They seem to be fairly normal growing plants of kind of a more humid, arid climate, typical of most kind of jungle habitat. nothing too extraordinary about the few that you find nearby that you can experiment on.
Do any of them match the reagents that I saw being used in the paralytic?
No, the reagents, at least the plant reagents that you found, was one kind of small flower-like plant with a bulbous growth, and then the thorned vine that you had searched for a while before. But neither of those you've seen since you came into the city. And in fact, the thorns, you've kept an eye out and haven't really seen much of them on the island at all. And Cade, you're kind of watching and looking along, scanning the different buildings. You kind of see one of the towers and scan up, and you kind of just catch sight of Roland where he's nestled into a corner. And you see a small little bird right above him.
How far away is it?
He's probably
blind spot.
He's probably about 80 feet up, maybe 100 feet away. So, pretty sure on that. 150, 160 feet.
Yeah. Kate just like clocking the bird again, just kind of like stares at it and gives it like a really friendly wave.
Roland is like keeping watch and is going, why are you waving at me? You're gonna give me my position.
And you all take this time to rest and recuperate. Boko, you kind of take some time to do what you can for the minor bruises and burns across your skin, kind of trying to rub some ointments and some medicinal fluids on them as Clyde kind of hums a soft ditty that seems to have some effect on you. It's strange. You've kind of heard of bards and their power, but to see one, it's odd in how it affects. It's almost unnatural to you in a way, but at the same time, part of you is very soothed by it.
Broko is beginning to like Clyde more and more, which might be a bad thing for Clyde.
But as the hour wears on and the sun begins to rise up in the sky and most of the moons have made their way down the opposite side of the horizon, is there anything else that you all are doing within the city?
If we expend the hour and no one approaches us, I'm gonna go back down to the group. I do believe that we're still being watched. So perhaps we proceed down to the docks as normal and maybe they'll find us.
Agreed. Boko's just gonna pack up his kit, put it back into his bag.
All right. And Cade, you kind of give a signal to Roland, who rejoins with the rest of you as you all head down, make the journey towards the docks, and it takes another 30-40 minutes probably of travel as you head down that direction. And seeing these, for such a large city, the docks are actually relatively small in footprint, but what they make up in size relative, their beauty is just as equal as the rest of this city. And there's about 2 piers that stretch down maybe 200 feet, and they have massive intricate pillars that have been worn down, but even through the years of erosion, you can see intricate patterns and details on these magnificent pillars that form up maybe every 20-30 feet down these long piers. And there are multiple spots to tie in ships and to tie in large ships, but they lie empty. The water here, you can tell, is deep, and there's kind of a curved edge around the side where it seems to be more shallow and go towards the beach, but these long piers extend out into deep waters where full ships could be docked. but there's
there
no
appear
sign.
to be any fish in the harbor.
Give me a perception check, Broko.
Kate kind of whistles like, this place once could have hosted a lot of trade. That's a serious docking there. Large ships, heavy commercial ones, would have easily been able to come in.
Well, there's a lot of potential here, but I don't think a ship's been in this port for a long, long time.
By all accounts, this was a very affluent city.
We could see if they have anything in dry dock.
Look, Broko says, and gestures towards the water. It is the first fauna we have seen in the city.
Sounds a friendly bird.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, but from what you're saying, we're not sure if that's going to be friendly or not.
And
certainly not natural.
And the strange running human you said you saw earlier.
And
Oh,
go ahead, Kate.
go ahead. I was gonna say, does it look like there are any, like, large, like, warehouse-type buildings around here, or anything that might be a dry dock, like, where a ship might have been put up for repair or anything?
Yeah. Cade, this dock, there is something unnatural about it to you, and as you kind of put it together in your head looking for this, you finally figure out what it is. There are these long piers that come, and there's actually kind of a sort of arch or sign above it, but there are no receiving areas. There's no areas to work or repair ships. There's no areas of a trade or a market. Typically when you have trade goods that come off, there's some place to put them as soon as they come off the ships. There's warehouses to store them. There's markets to sell them. There's places where they're being moved. There's carts for storage. There's places of transport. It is an open pier that leads very readily into the city proper. There's no real reception areas. It seems that this is the same as like an entry gate that doesn't feel quite right for a ship port.
Okay.
Or an exit gate.
Well, I take back what I said. This is strange. Normally, if there was commerce, we'd have places to put goods. But I don't know, it just doesn't... There's no place to have ships unload what you need, unload goods, or merchants to set up shop or anything.
Nah, there's a lot of beauty to this city, but there's none of the chaos that indicates life to it at any point.
Yes, I believe that does come from a lack of people.
I feel like it was just someone's playground. No one's supposed to really live here.
So
Well-
you're saying that this grand city was a front?
I mean-
Sandbox.
It was a city for celestials, so not
Coming down
people
here
like you and me.
Why even would they come down to our plane?
Clyde, go ahead and roll me a history check.
Oh, sure.
While that's happening, can we cast a look just over the city and see if from this vantage we can see any like grandiose or larger than normal buildings that would indicate like some kind of gathering point or something important?
Yeah,
Besides
sure.
the one with the tree in it?
Yeah, you can go ahead and
Yes,
roll me a
besides the one
perception
we've
check,
already
Broko. And Clyde, celestial is a broad term and vague at best for any sort of accurate depiction. Things that can be described as celestials are everything from those blessed by the gods to the gods themselves, to their messengers, angels, creatures of radiant birth. But what many stories and legends have of at least powerful celestials, of gods, of angels, they're not described as creatures of want. They rarely are described as needing food or sleep or common accommodations that the lesser races would be accustomed to. And as you kind of dwell on this and think on this and piece together things within the city, Broko, you kind of scan, and there are about 5 major buildings within the city. And one of them is relatively close, kind of a short distance from where you are now and a short distance from where you had just been, where Cade had kind of seen the movement. It is kind of the main structure that Cade had used to find where she had seen the person moving. It's maybe a few minute walk further into the city, but it is a large kind of rounded dome with an open top.
That happened to be the same way we watched the bird fly as Cade approached it.
No, it would have been the opposite.
Interesting. Broko will sort of point out above the buildings or above the rooftops towards this strange landmark and just say, perhaps we should go to one of these structures. It seems a likely place for people to have gathered at one point. We may be able to find information of some kind.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be something instead of nothing. And I'm certainly not seeing any boats.
There's lots of stuff here. Look at all the beautiful stone. I don't know why you guys keep saying there's nothing here.
Lots of beautiful, perfectly sculpted stone.
Also, are we sure we can't use the portal? Because if the Celestials built this, I would love to talk to them.
I think the portal disappeared, didn't it?
And I didn't get a chance to see what hit me or interject at any point. I just saw a crash of radiant light on the earth.
Yeah, it was almost like a comet or a meteor impact is what you would akin towards. It's not so much like a who, but it was more of a thing that seemed to collide in.
Defense system.
Yep,
Gotcha.
You got flicked out of heaven.
I got mortared.
Third campaign in a row that meteors have rained out of the sky. On Austin, specifically.
Indeed.
Sindri, it's more like we're not finding anything that we're looking for. We're not looking for stone. There's plenty of that around.
That does bring us back to the point. The hierarchy of missions. We looked for Gale. We cannot find him. That brings us back to our original reason for coming to this city. To find a boat. We have not found a boat.
Now all we need to do is find a boat with Gale on it, and all of our problems are solved.
That would be quite lovely, yes. Our next objective is getting off this island, yes?
So far, the only thing we have found is 100 gold worth of metal.
Which I do deeply appreciate that. However, Roland brings up a very good point. Getting off the island would be super ideal, and getting off the island with Cade in tow would be even more ideal.
We'll probably need to dig our way out, because there's no ships.
You know this is an island, right?
Yes.
I agree that perhaps we go try the building. Also, Roland, perhaps we take another look at that necklace that Sindri had? Or, quickly grabbed off a platform?
Oh yeah, the really pretty one?
Does Sindri still have that?
What do you got there?
Yeah.
He does. Still wrapped in cloth.
Oh no.
Yeah, that should probably get identified at some point here.
Let's look at it. What's it do? What's it say?
Can
It's protected. It's wrapped in cloth. I was informed that means it cannot hurt me.
You also
not sure
put it
why.
on at one point, so like the dangerous part is past.
I'm currently wearing it, so.
No, he made you take it off, remember?
Yeah.
Wearing it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Cade
That's a
did
different
make you
story.
take it off and wrap it in cloth, so it's like in your bag or something.
I was like, Kate very clearly told you to take it off and wrap it up.
I completely forgot
Very
about
unlike
that
Cinder.
necklace. Yeah, no, if you want me to identify that, I'll identify it.
Ooh, you think it allows us to go to the other plane? Without the oceans? And the great builders? It sounds really great. I think we should, new goal, we go there.
I will say, Sindri, out of all the possibilities available to us on this island, that is high on the list.
Really just want a boat.
Well,
How far is the next piece of land? Would we be able to build a boat?
I mean, we have a half-built, half-destroyed boat back at the refugee camp. But we were heading this way to find civilization, and civilization was present and is no longer.
Does anyone here know how to work with wood? Oh, you do? Okay. Okay, can you build a boat?
I spent a lifetime building and repairing boats.
Oh. Why didn't we... Oh, so we can... How long will it take to repair a boat?
It depends on the repairs needed and the materials available and the manpower available and the skill of that manpower and it...
The boat we have and the people available. Because it seems that's what we have.
That boat is
And
not big
I can
enough.
run calculations if you want.
Sindri, that boat's not exactly big enough to get everyone off the island, which is the whole point of us coming here in the first place.
There's also that.
Perhaps we got lucky. And Octavius no longer needs a ride off the island.
Wouldn't that be nice?
No, I have a feeling that if anyone survives it all, it's going to be Octavius.
Literally just Octavius.
A ship comes out of nowhere to save, and it's just him on the island looking fabulous.
Oh, well, I mean,
Somehow a ship comes around the corner and Octavius is on the ship. Hello,
Do not get on that ship. Do not get on that
save
ship.
you as the hero of the story.
Watch him be associated with the bird people.
We'll take the next one, thanks.
So I guess 10 minutes to identify the necklace and then go to the dome.
Can you identify and walk at the same time?
11.
I can carry you.
The 3-foot-tall person carrying the 5'9" person.
But what it's worth is I
You
bet
identified my necklace.
Gonna grab you by the ankles and lift.
He's just standing and you're cheerleader holding him up on your hands and walking.
he has a better chance than I do of picking somebody up. So I think we're
I
going
was
to be fine.
picturing Princess Carrie, so your arms are free to identify.
Just
your feet are dangling.
Your height sticking out either way as your Princess Carrie.
I just found a fantastic use for that floating disc, Tensor's floating disc.
Oh!
Just the identifier going home.
Mobile ritual service.
That is actually, yes, if you have that spell, that would be quite useful. I have several ritual spells that would
Bro,
be
I'm
quite
a half
useful to not have to
Yeah, brother. We only have a few
the-
half casters around. So.
The DM is quite familiar with me and ritual spells.
So does Roland have to get carried? Can he?
He can be. He can just be. He can be princess carried by Sindri holding this amulet.
Hey,
and we will judge
I mean, I'm
him
assuming
for it.
if Sindri
he's not doing
supersizes,
that.
wouldn't that be easy
He's
enough?
not doing that.
What about piggyback?
Stand here for 11 minutes.
If
I
you
bet
want him
Monk-
to identify it, he's going to sit down for 11 minutes here. If you want to move to the building, he will sit down for 11 minutes there.
Don't want a piggyback ride? Okay.
No.
I don't think a piggyback ride will work. I'm too small. His feet will just be on the ground.
If
I take that-
5'7",
No, just
and
put
is a little bit
your
stronger than people would
shoulders.
give her credit for.
And then give yourself a trench coat.
If I take 2 levels into the wizard feat tree, I could get you Tensor's floating disc. Although it'd probably be like a stump with spider legs that would creep around.
It probably would.
Let's identify. I vote identify. Let's just do identify first.
Is there any writing on this thing, or is it just
No, there's no writing or
Okay.
inscriptions.
not
It's a very pretty stone.
Yes, it
Don't
is
break
a giant blue stone, and it is kind of wrapped in this intricate silver kind of casing on a silver strand.
You guys mind taking 21 minutes?
Oh, let me run the numbers real
I feel
quick.
like you should have done this while we was taking a break instead of hiding up in the crevice by yourself.
We just took an hour nap, didn't we? Or was that just me?
I was keeping watch in case someone attacked.
I thought
You
Kay
need
was
to keep
doing
watch
that.
while you identify?
No, magic requires a degree of concentration, and in
He
order
only
to
has
cast
one
this-
eye, Sindri.
All right, I've run the numbers. I don't think we're going to be able to pay you for that time. We pay for 11 minutes, though. 10's on your own.
Roland, take the time that you need. Let's figure out if this thing is useful to us in any size that could give us money
Yeah,
later, but
It's
not
obvious we're not going anywhere.
Maybe
Clearly.
the boats are under the water. Do boats go under water?
If they go underwater,
Run.
generally we don't want to ride them anymore.
Well, I don't want to ride them on the water, but do they still work?
DM, quick question here.
Mhm.
Do I know of like
Submarine's a thing.
underwater societies in
We
this
have
area?
a gnomish train. Subs aren't too far off.
Kate, are we about to Hail Mary to look for Atlanteans? Is that what I'm hearing here?
All right,
No,
fish
I'm just-
people, let's do
I'm
it.
trying to remember if I read that in his background or if that was a different campaign.
Ah,
Throw me out far enough into the ocean, I'll sink to the bottom and find the people.
You can certainly roll a
no,
history
he's in a
check if you
trench,
would like.
no!
Fortunately, you're the only person capable of throwing someone out into the ocean.
Yeah.
I'll just do it
No,
myself.
we gotta build a portable trebuchet and just huck him.
I am for the small rock Ganazi cannon. Water tower cannon.
Technology is not here yet.
There are
And then I'll get
many
big
rumors of various underwater creatures and peoples, but you have no idea which ones are true and which ones are just completely made up. Sailors talk about all sorts of different things, and at least with your experience, you haven't actually seen any yet.
Okay.
And most of the sailor legends have
You want
I
to
mean-
elaborate there?
Just going to put out,
tracts
it's not
of land.
an underwater ship isn't like completely out of the realm of possibility. Plenty of things live in the sea.
I mean, honestly, at this point, if we ran into people that were living underwater, I just wouldn't be shocked. I would just be curious as to how we could possibly set up a trade route, because I'm honestly very curious as to what in the world they might be having down there.
I don't know. What we have above land?
Yeah, but think about the things that don't work underwater.
I don't know. Many things work underwater.
Like running?
You swim.
Very slowly. Technically, running is walking, but only one foot touches the ground at the same time, so that is very possible underwater.
But anyway, anyways, while we're shooting the breeze and Roland's doing magic.
While this conversation is ongoing, Roland is casting Identify. The
Exactly.
1 minutes is irrelevant because I do not have Detect Magic prepared, so I cannot cast it ritualistically.
Neither do I. Actually, real quick, while he's doing this, quick spot check. Do I see is the bird still around?
Yeah, looking around, you see that the bird indeed is sitting much closer than it has been before, maybe about 40 to 50 feet away on one of the windowsills.
Age's just gonna wave again, really friendly like.
All right. So, Roland, in the meantime, you have been casting Identify on this, and you kind of pull out this long, and it's a fairly large stone, probably about 4 or 5 inches long, and you kind of hold it in your hands as you kind of focus on it, and you just feel this surge of energy immediately, as you can sense the magic coursing within inside the blue stone, and you kind of relax your vision and feel yourself just stretch in, kind of touching those tendrils of the weave that have been imbued into this item. And with each piece that you unlock, you all watch as Roland's eyes twitch, his eyebrows raise. He kind of begins to hold this item out a little bit, weary of it. And there's this reverence, almost as if he is going to drop an egg if he lets this thing go. And Roland, there is this power. There are these innate spell power within this gemstone. You can tell that captured within it is the ability to cast a spell once a day. And that spell can be one of the 3: sending, banishment, or scrying. And as each one is unlocked, your eyebrows get higher and higher and higher, realizing how much latent magical energy is nestled inside this object, and that is not where it ends. This item also has the ability to remove one's connection from the weave, invoking a curse on a creature that breaks all of its attunements and ability to cast spells. But this invoking, this mark of the caster's plight, as it is called, is few and far between when it can be used. But as this all settles into you, the power and the presence of this item, you're like, we were just carrying this around in our pouch, and this is worth so much. And it is just all dawning on you in this wave of realization.
I'm about to say, if it's worth a lot, would I have any clue, just as a merchant, how, more precision on how much this goes for?
I mean, just materials and alone, it is hundreds, if not thousands, of gold crowns.
Or
sovereigns?
That curse, it is something that can be enacted on someone else as part of the necklace, or is a curse on the wearer?
No, it is enacted.
Enacted. So it's like I can cast this on someone else.
Yep.
Oh!
So, we see Roland's stunned expression.
What of the deal?
What is that thing? About as speechless as I was when I learned that we're in a city of angels.
Not that bad. Not that bad. Not that it doesn't have anything to do with angels or celestials or PP.
Just a step below that.
Yeah, a couple steps below. Nothing bad. Nothing bad, dude.
Come on, man, spit it out.
If it has anything to do with the sheer value of this thing that I'm getting a better look at it, I'm gonna be honest with you. You could sell this and we could buy multiple boats.
Who would we sell it to?
Who would we buy the boats from?
Those are both excellent questions that I do not have an answer to at the moment.
Or we can keep. What does it do? That's important. If it does water stuff, I don't want it.
Market-wise, if we get it back to Carnath, it can do a lot of good in making us some friends.
You can buy friends.
Kind of.
Okay. So
is that like slavery?
My allies.
And
yeah,
this
it's kind
is
of what
just
kids
like sorry, Austin. This is just like across the board. If you were wisdom, it becomes charisma. If you were intelligence, it becomes wisdom. If you were charisma, it becomes intelligence.
Yep.
Damn, that's me.
I am very much out. I'm a cleric with 6 charisma.
And again, this is something. This is not something that's placed on the wearer. This is something the wearer can invoke on someone else.
Can invoke.
Although it would be cool if you had a niche case where you used it on another player. And how long does the effect last?
Here, I'll give the full description for this one.
Only by a wish spell. Oh my god.
Wow.
Well.
Oh yeah, no, so Kay's just like, come on, Roland, spit it out. We don't have all day. Is this at all helpful in getting us off the island?
No, it won't help us get off the island, just yet. Unless we find someone with a very large ship to trade it for, which... No ships.
What?
The spell casting mod is Constitution. What happens to me?
You don't really
One way
cast
to find out.
spells, you invoke runes.
One way to find out, Sindri.
So, you had mentioned that the restorative magic that you cast that returned, seeing. It was a lot. It was at the top. The max you could do. Yeah.
Yes, it currently is the most power I can harness from my surroundings.
I know of the spells that this item enables, and they are orders of magnitude above.
Impressive.
Distance, talking distance, sending creature distance, looking distance. I look far away, send something far away, talk to someone far away. It's not anything that is like scary, but holy cow, I haven't held something this powerful in my hands ever before.
Should it be really loud? That's cool.
No, he's saying you can use magic to talk to someone else. I've seen it done before. I'm not capable of doing it myself, but I've seen it.
Sentry, the portal that we saw.
Yes.
Led somewhere not here, yes?
Yes.
This necklace would let you talk to someone on the other side of that portal once a day. It would allow you to send someone who is from the other side of that portal back to where they were from once a day. And
I can use it to go back and get off the island?
Would that work on the bird thing?
It could, depending on where the bird was from.
Would have been good to know.
Although, if it can send a message, then that means we can send a message for someone to come pick us up.
Yes, we can. Do you have someone you would contact?
I know someone.
Because I don't want to call anyone in my past.
Okay, out of curiosity, DM, real quick. Kate's going to pull, kind of tap her staff and use the connection between her star crystal and her friend's star crystal to see where he is. Ooh. Can I get a rough, how far out that ship is from us?
Is that a feature that I'm not familiar with?
Oh, that was just part of the backstory of, it was just, a fun thing that, just a fun way, I can see where he is and he can see the stars that I can see.
Gotcha.
Yo, that's sick, what?
It was supposed to be just a fun backstory thing, but I didn't ever think it would come up. But I'll let DM rolling on this.
So I'm going to say it's slightly more imprecise than that. So whenever you kind of tap the staff, it gives kind of a small projection of what the other staff can see in the sky. And so by using that, you could kind of triangulate where they were if you had time and maps and could do it, but it would take time and be a process. Otherwise, it's just a visual aspect of what they see. Okay.
Backing up, though, where would have been the last, where did I get dropped off? When I went on my own adventure.
Yeah. So you were headed for Cliffscrape and had picked up Sindri in Tantamar, and you were dropped off not too far from Tantamar. Basically kind of given kind of road to shore within the Spring Harbor, which is that kind of sea basin outside of Tantamar, and then a short walk to the city. And so that was, it's kind of around a peninsula, but kind of a little bit northwest of where this island is supposed to be according to your map.
Okay. Yeah, I downloaded the map, but it downloaded really low res, and I haven't figured out how to fix that yet. I can't read names very well. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, if that kind of middle piece of land that's pointed out, there's a little red dot just to the left of that. That's Tantamar. And so in the time that it took you to kind of travel there and get a ship, you know that the ship that you were on was headed back south.
Okay. Headed back south. Okay.
So it's probably much further south in the time that it took you to get to the city and get a ship and get out to where you are. The other ship is probably farther south at this point.
Okay.
Because it would have been much faster than the ship that you were on, including the head start.
Kate kind of pauses for a second, thinking, you see, just some, quick calculations going on in her head, okay, if I was dropped off there, south, okay, yeah, so they'd be south here, I could contact someone. I don't know how long it would take for them to get here, exactly.
Can't take longer than for us to get back across that bridge.
Oh god, not the bridge! Please don't make us go back there!
I don't know what you guys are talking about. That was fine.
You can go back across. I'm not going over there.
Boko would also say, if you can use this necklace to call or contact somebody, maybe you can reach out to the human you saw from the treetops. They are closer and perhaps know things we do not.
I don't. I'm not super familiar with the magic. Perhaps I don't know. Usually, when you're casting that, you kind of have to know who you're trying to talk to, or at least that's the feeling that I've gotten before. At least the person that I saw cast it, he was talking to someone that he knew. I don't know if you can talk to someone that you don't know.
My class doesn't learn the spell, so I'm completely unfamiliar with this.
Yeah. I know a few people that have sent or have that magic, so I'm kind of maybe.
Yeah, and
but it's an option.
Cade, this is something that was used fairly regularly on the ship, and is why druids were common on ships, among other reasons. And so you know that you do have to be familiar enough to at least roughly describe the person at minimum for it to even attempt to work.
Okay. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, you have to kind of know who you're talking to in order to get the message across. Okay. Yeah, I was just double checking something. But I could talk to them, and if they can't, they might know someone else who's in the area who could pick us up. And like I said, if I drop the fact that there's a bunch of well-to-dos trapped, and that there could be some compensation for a daring rescue, then that might even put it a little further in our favor. So that's possible. That is an option. But in the meantime, do we want to go to the dome? See if there's anything else to learn, and then perhaps I try to use this object to contact a friend tonight.
Sindri seem okay with that?
It seems fine. All I've heard is that I saved the day.
You did a good job, Sindri.
And I was criticized for it.
I just want to make a point. Don't always assume that bright, shiny rocks are going to turn out to be awesome, magical things. Sometimes they could be really bad.
It has only been positive in my experience. I either get a really cool rock.
Same with the boat. Boats are super safe, but in your experience, 100% of them have had creatures fall on them and sink.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, in your experience, you saved the day, but you saved the day by calling a boat.
Ooh, is it worth it?
Roll strain, conflict.
I'm not sure I like you.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. Well, how about we go to the dome for now, and then see what we can see, and then perhaps contact a rescue ship SOS signal tonight?
Sure, at the very least it looks mostly enclosed.
All right, so you guys are heading towards this dome?
You said it's getting dark, right?
No, it
Just
is
getting
just
bright.
getting bright. Like it is. I mean, it's been bright for a couple hours now,
Even
but it's
better.
probably it's early morning still.
There doesn't appear to be any like campfire smoke or anything that obvious in the sky right now.
Not that you can see.
That would be too easy.
Actually, I take that back. They're looking to the sky. Broko, you actually do see smoke, but it's distant. It's far away.
Is it the distance of our camp?
Yeah. That is them burning Octavius at the stake.
Help me, please! Smells delicious.
It is indeed in the direction of the camp.
Well, looks like they've decided to send up a smoke signal.
Oh,
you think they found somebody?
Wait, no, I hope that isn't the camp burning. I hope that's the
Maybe
camp
it's
burning
just
a
campfires.
campfire.
Yeah,
I hope it's a campfire and not the camp burning.
I'm hoping
Maybe
for
they
smoke
decided
signal.
Maybe they decided to burn the nautiloid.
I mean, it was already burning.
That's true.
They decided to add Cade's ship to the fire to keep it going.
Piece by piece.
Do we want to?
We did see the bird creature off in the. Well, we didn't see it. Jasira saw it, but
you guys saw the feathers, and
the bird
Sindri or Cade saw it at the first shrine, the very first one in the forest.
Do we want to head back?
I think we should check out this important building first.
Check out the building, see if there are people there who can help, and if they cannot help, then let us head back to the settlement. Camp. And call Cade's friend. Yes?
Yes. Do I get to keep the necklace?
You know the scene where like Boromir doesn't want to give the ring back to Frodo?
And then like dies directly after.
After all, why not? Why shouldn't I have it?
It's mine.
Sindri, you have to promise to keep it very safe, because it could possibly be our ticket off this island.
Yes.
Very, very safe.
Given that
I am very safe. Normally. As long as I'm not on water.
Can I get a how genuine check here?
Sindri seems very genuine. You don't even need to check. Like he's like, I'm gonna keep this thing safe. I'm the safest person around. There's no place safer than right around my neck.
I buy it.
Keep it safe.
I'll put it on right next to the sending stone I always wear. Just
wait a second.
How to get thrown into the ocean in one sentence.
I've just had this teleport scroll this whole time.
Yeah. We don't need this.
Wait,
I'll just put this out of the pocket.
Just asked.
Does anybody have anything to start the fire with? Yeah, this scroll of teleport.
We didn't start the fire.
I can't read magic runes. How am I supposed to know what it does? This is the weird paper I found.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, Roland is like still holding the necklace and looking between Sindri and Cade and just going, maybe. Because it's Cade's friend that we're going to call, maybe Cade should hold the thing that calls the friend.
Sindri, would that be okay?
You can use it. I'm not saying you can't use it. I just would like my pretty stone.
I think that in order for her to use it, I think she needs to spend some time with it.
She needs to spend some time cuddling up to this rock.
Does it require attunement?
It does.
Sindri, sometimes magical items require you to create a connection with them.
Ah. Does that mean I can do it after you? What kind of magic powers do I get? Can I fly?
No, not flying.
No.
But I'm swimming.
I could give you swimming powers for a price.
It isn't all that. You are very good at hitting things with a hammer.
I'm aware, thank you.
You're very good. Very good. This doesn't help you hit things with a hammer any better.
But when he hits someone with a hammer using it, it could send them into another dimension.
I can hit people in another dimension? That sounds awesome. I want to do that.
Oh, not because you hit them with your hammer.
But would I do it by hitting them with a hammer?
No. This helps someone whose talents lie in more, doing magic from far away. Which you do, you hit things with a hammer from up close.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing helps people who do magic from far away. So, you found it. As Cade said, we are asking for your approval on how to use it, but I think Cade could use it quite well. Or me.
I mean, so you can use it, that's fine.
Okay. And he'll hand it to Cade.
Yeah, Cade's gonna safely tuck that away for now.
Could I permanently hit someone into another dimension?
No.
One day,
No.
kid. One day.
And this is what magic can do. Is this why people... What do I have to do to learn magic?
Sentry, when you hit things, they no longer have a need of another dimension.
Since if you want to learn magic, I could teach you how to do some.
You send him to
stuff with nature.
a dimension.
I couldn't understand. Both of you came in at the same time. I have no idea what either you said.
Go for it, Clive.
Oh. Well, I already forgot what I said.
He just said that you could send him to another dimension, I think.
Yeah, no, continue. Oh, yeah, you can send him to another dimension, but that dimension be pain. You don't need magic.
The pain dimension.
What is another dimension? I think that should be important.
Sand.
Sand?
Kind of like where Broko went.
I don't like it.
That's where the craftsmen are? Can I send myself to another dimension?
Wouldn't recommend it.
Once.
Once.
Look, I'm as shocked as you all are that I didn't die to Sand World. Happened twice.
You can borrow it, but I would like to try to... I want to try playing with it a little bit later. When we're not trying to escape the island and the water. The water. Are you sure I have to learn how to swim to fly?
Yes.
It gives fish an unfair advantage in learning how to fly.
Learning to swim is much easier than learning to fly. So it's a good starting point.
I'm gonna assume that at this point we're probably walking towards the dome.
Yeah.
We've been standing outside the front door the whole time.
Yeah, you guys have been having this conversation as you guys are making your way through the city. And you reach this dome, and it is... Again, everything here is just brilliantly carved. And this one, it is surrounded by an outer layer of pillared arches that are just elegant and have, again, eroded away. But even what remains, you can see details and intricate design work that is just beautiful and flawless. And, excuse me, these pillars kind of give way to what almost looks to be some sort of stadium. with a large domed roof that is kind of open at the top. And entering past where the roof is, you see what looks like seats surrounding all the edge, with a large balcony above, and small rounded sections that are set into the seats at every 100 or 200 feet all the way around. And in the center, kind of recessed down below, there is this open field, and it is now overgrown with trees and grass and weeds. But what looked to be at one point a well-kept field that is evenly cut, and there is a clear distinction of where it was to meet up with the stone below. And in the center is a solid silver pedestal that is alight with a white-blue flame that is easily 10 feet in diameter.
Okay, so we stay away from large, weird fire.
Broko walks towards the fire.
Yeah.
So you're up on kind of these seated stands, and it's probably a 20-foot drop from where the balcony is down to the field.
Can I climb down?
Certainly, if you'd like to do.
And
We have ropes.
I have a climbing speed.
Yeah, a spider just pops out, just steps
Then
down
you're,
General
takes
Grievous
the rope
side.
and starts following quickly after you.
all the legs come out and attach to the wall. It just slowly descends. Broko descends beneath, just glaring at Roland.
Can I have a ride?
You're not my dad, Roland.
I don't know. Can I lift Sindri?
I don't know.
You
Can you
could
lift the
try.
person?
How much
Here,
is
take
Sindri weigh?
Clyde. Clyde only weighs 35 pounds.
I could probably take
160,
Clyde.
170. I'm just.
I am really,
I'm literally
really strong.
I'm like a 3.5 foot tall boulder.
Yeah, it would be very difficult to climb down with Sindri, but Clyde, you can kind of put on your shoulder and back and kind of climb down with him if he wants to go.
Yeah, put Clyde on my shoulder.
Sits up there and he's
descend,
able to hang on the leg.
Descend out of sight, don't talk to me or my son ever again.
My strange, wrinkly son.
Oh my gosh.
I like strange, ever-burning fires. This is kind of my thing.
Roland is backing up.
Benjamin just hides the rope and starts climbing down it.
Clyde will motion for the 5-foot stick.
How from below the wall while carried by a spider?
Yep.
How does he motion for it? He goes
down
like this.
Hey, come on, Go on, stick me!
Stick
I will attempt to toss the stick
he's
with
gonna
my non-paralyzed arm
Sure,
while backing up.
Give me an athletics check.
I am
This
not
reminds
using
me-
guidance on this.
I believe.
Yeah, he
average.
chucks it out into the field, lands a few feet, and Clyde, you go and pick it up. And Clyde and Broko are down on the field, and again, the grass is tall and weedy, and there are even some trees that have grown up here.
Clyde stays on Boku's shoulders.
But nothing very tall.
Is the bird still following us?
Make me a perception check, Cade.
I'm bird following.
Bird watching.
No, the bird is bird
interesting.
watching.
Yeah,
Is the bird still following us?
Yeah, you do see this small little chickadee nestled up in one of the windows, just kind of looking down at you all.
Gonna give it another friendly wave.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, at this point, can I
Struggling here,
tell
help,
that
please.
Cade is waving
Yes,
at the bird?
you kind of are like, what is she doing? And look, and you kind of clock where she's waving, and you see a small little shape of what looks to be a bird nestled in one of the windows.
Okay, hang on. Wait, were you waving? When you waved at me, was it actually was the bird right? I wasn't very hidden, was I?
Not really.
I see.
The bird was about 10 feet above you.
Roland will pull his rifle off his back and somberly try to, check something on it and attempt to stay busy.
Roland will assemble the pieces of his damaged ego. So as we strut up to this fire, does it give off any heat?
No, it does not.
Is there any inscription or anything on the base of this?
Nope. It is a smooth metal pedestal up to an open, shallow silver bowl about 10 feet in diameter, and it gives this white blue flame that just kind of softly billows up, and there is no smoke.
If Clyde puts the 5-foot stick in it, does the stick catch fire?
No.
Oh.
Can I put Clyde in it?
It's about 10 feet off the ground.
Just gonna huck Clyde into the.
No, if Broko can put his hands against the pedestal and approach it without it actually burning him at all, he would be interested enough to try to put his hand in it.
Yeah, there is no fire. So it's about 10 feet up and then a 10-foot kind of bowl at the top. And so kind of reaching up, you can kind of jump and try and get your fingers on the edge. And you might get close to some of the flame. If you were to try.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I guess you can climb. Yeah, so you can try and you just kind of climb up the pedestal and underneath the bowl. And you can climb right up onto it if you want.
This is closer than I thought we were going to get, Broko. All right.
God, just holding on, just holding.
Yes.
Clyde is completely inverted as Broko scales the bottom of the bowl.
Yeah, and you
this
watch.
This is going to be a new thing. Yeah, the Clyde Broko spider.
Everyone is just watching in strange curiosity.
Sindri ran after them. Sindri is down there with them.
Oh, how did you get down, Sindri?
I thought he was making a rope.
I did the rope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you just tied off a rope? Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, so you climbed down and you ran after them, and Sindri, they are now climbing up, and you're just kind of running up and they're oh, I want to turn. And Broko kind of climbs up onto this and kind of holds out a hand, and there is no heat. There is no burning, and kind of steps in, and you all watch as Broko is kind of standing half in on the edge of this blue-white fire. And Broko, you don't feel very stable. This thing, it looks fragile, and even being on the side, there's a lot of weight that you're now putting on one side, and you're not sure how long this might be able to support you.
Probably.
What was your plan here after jumping in the fire? Was it just
the
to
fire
burn to
seems
death
to
with
not-
me, or what?
The fire doesn't seem to spread or anything.
Nope. Doesn't catch anything that you're wearing.
Broko sort of addresses Clyde as he goes to climb back down. He says, "You are not curious about fire that seems to burn forever but does not consume flesh?"
Sure, I'm a little curious, but so far every bit of curiosity here has led to one more horror.
Sindri from below. I'm very curious.
That is very strange.
We are about to see if this is going to catch fire, because Sindri's going to climb up here and just catapult mystery fire everywhere.
Sindri is very much trying to get up the podium.
Push it over.
It is a very thin pedestal. Sindri, you kind of try and climb up it, but it's like climbing up a tether pole.
Very strong.
It's not about strength. There's nowhere to grab. It's just a sheer solid pole. And it's kind of wavy a little bit, and you kind of shimmy your way up and then end up sliding down. It is just completely smooth.
Does my big hammer reach to the rim of the fire?
Probably.
Just straight muscle up.
Yes. Like that one video game with the big hammer where you flip it around and move.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you kind of
Getting over
leverage the heavy maul just up on the side, and you just kind of try and pull yourself up. Is that what you're doing?
That is going to be the strat.
All right, give me an athletics check.
This
Awesome.
is probably about twice the weight that Broko and Clyde were putting on it.
Together.
Possibly. Alright, athletics.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you start going hand over hand as you're climbing up this pole, and you get about halfway, and you just hear this, and the bowl begins to just bend in your direction, and the lip begins to kind of sink down.
And
Sindri immediately let's go.
You kind of let go, and the maul kind of falls down, and Broko and Clyde are kind of shifted off to an angle, and the bowl is now just lilted at an angle. But the fire is still burning.
Thank you,
I'm
bro.
sorry.
But the
All
important
right,
thing
no.
is, we didn't start the fire.
How high is it now that it's tilted? Could Clyde get to it by himself?
No, it's maybe like 6 inches to a foot.
Hey, Broko,
Shorter.
help me put some of this in the lantern. See if we can stick some of this in there. This would be great.
Does it work?
Are you attempting to grab the fire?
Put it in the lantern and then give it back to Clyde?
Yeah, in the lantern. Just...
So the fire, like it's intangible. You can't grab it or manipulate it.
We've been standing here,
Yes.
so Broko just to appease Clyde, grabs the lantern, opens it, like scoops air, and then hands it back.
What?
It seemed like the fire moved at all when the bowl moved.
And as you open up the lantern and kind of move it towards the fire, that plant growth that Clyde had gathered instantly incinerates and turns to nothing.
Oh. Broko, what you do there?
Broko reaches into his pack and pulls out the vines that he had collected from the buildings. Does
Kind of
anything happen?
Put it into the flame and nothing happens.
Okay, wait. So
What the fuck?
The lichen, the glowing lichen from the ritual room.
Oh, that probably burned because of the sunlight. That would be my guess.
How
Wait,
big
we
is
saw
the
that
bowl?
lichen on the altar that was out in the trees, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
So we know it wasn't the sunlight.
That was also at night.
That's true, but it was interesting. Oh, there goes my really cool theory.
Dang it.
Sindri was doing a bit like, I want to see the cool magic. How big is the bowl? Is it?
It's like
Is it
a
big
10
enough for
foot.
Sindri to carry?
That is the question I'm asking. How big is the bowl?
Yeah, it's a 10-foot diameter.
Oh, Sindri needs a new
Okay. Sindri, just like instead of trying to climb, you just see him standing there and be like, "I'm gonna get there," and he's just slowly getting bigger. It's like, I am not too small to fit. I'm gonna get up there. And Dylan's like, kind of staring over the bowl and like reaches it, and he grabs onto the bowl. I got it.
Broko just goes like this for a moment and looks up
And
to
I
Clyde.
think he's got it.
We should climb down.
Do we want to take this? Maybe it's like the necklace, and it's really good that I take it.
Very quickly, Broko scales down and away from whatever is
Are
about
you
to happen.
scaling down Sindri or the pole?
Over
Yes,
Sindri's body.
in fact, yes. As it is quicker, he's just gonna hop onto Sindri's shoulder and scale down the back of him.
Oh my god.
Sindri would like to try to take the bowl.
Oh no.
All right, give
He's
me
gonna
give me
get
his
this bitch
strength
into
check.
the fucking city.
Oh man, I don't need torch or a lantern anymore.
Yeah. So what do I need to do anything?
Yeah, give me a strength check.
Strength check? Alright. Nat 20. Bam.
Well then,
No way.
Boom.
Yeah,
boy.
there's just this tearing as Sindri just peels this top off this pedestal, and you all see as the pedestal itself is kind of bent and pulled up partially out of the ground, but he twists and pulls the bowl off and is just kind of holding it up, and the fire is still burning away on top of it.
Yes. The bowl or on the pedestal?
The bowl.
Yeah.
The pedestal is just like a spire that the bowl is attached to.
Same material of that boiling cup we saw before for that part of the ritual.
Are you asking?
No, I'm just making a speculation.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry, DM, I had to modify your map a little bit.
Sindri just kind of looks like somewhat shocked about how well that went. I'm like, alright.
Broko also shares that same look.
Alright, now that you got it, what's your plan?
I don't know because I can only hold it for a minute. So what?
How heavy is it?
Well, why don't you set it on the ground so we can all get a good look at it?
Does this feel heavy for Sindri right now? Or does it seem like it's relatively light?
I mean, it's heavy because it's big. It's not heavy because it's a heavy metal.
What is the metal made of? What is?
Looks like silver.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, Sindri would just be happy with a big silver bowl. So this is just a win. 100 gold worth of silver.
There.
It's plausible.
Sindri's gonna like rotate it and place it on the ground. It's like, okay, I got it. Before Sindri gets small, he's gonna go over to the pillar and try to take that too while he's at it. As the pillar is halfway ripped out.
Alright, well,
now
it was a fancy pillar, right? I mean,
now we have a 10-foot long stick made of silver.
Not a stick, it's a disc. What?
I meant if Sindri takes the post.
Yeah, it is.
It's silver too? Okay,
and it's like bent in like almost like a C now from this check. But yeah, if you want to roll me a strength check to try and pull out this silver post.
Yes.
Did you say we have a 10-foot long dick made of silver?
Disc.
Yeah. Now
Sindri, you pull and pry, and yeah, it's this bent silver rod that is just like attached to this just crumbled stone that it was cemented into that you've just ripped out of the ground. Just kind of pulling rebar out of concrete.
Stone
resource something.
I think I should reiterate again. What's your plan with the big silver pedestal? We just
looks at it like building materials. This is like some of the prettiest metal we've seen, and the other guy took all the gold, so I want something.
I needed that.
The Schalt is just shouting from the stands as he's watching.
Schalt has a sixth sense for when people talk about him.
And it's strange,
like echoes.
Most of you guys on the kind of stands can hear pretty well what they're saying.
Just watching Sindri just like rip apart stuff.
And Clyde with his like elbow on Boku's head, just like, what in the hell is he gonna do with that thing?
I need to straighten it again, and then I have a new stick.
Great Maul. Silver Great Maul.
Yes. Or I can make silver armor. Since the one dude has gold armor, we can be... That'd be cool, actually.
That'd be pretty cool.
I can make silver plates.
Silver plates.
At this point, he probably starts shrinking back down, and he's talking about what he's gonna do. Just still holding the pole, it's getting heavier and heavier. Like, ooh, that. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
How heavy is the silver pole?
No, what's the diameter?
A lot.
Yeah, it's not even the silver at this point. There's a chunk of this stone that is just like attached to the base of it. That is probably where most of the weight comes from. But
this is like when the Hulk uses like a telephone pole. It's got
concrete at the bottom. Yes, exactly. But it's probably a good like 3 or 4 inch diameter on this pole.
After I shrink down, Sindri's gonna run over to the end with the stone. He's gonna pull out his stone tools and his metal tools, and he's gonna start trying to get all the crap off the end.
Okay.
But Sindri seems like he's having fun.
Figure out how we keep the fire.
I think the fire is gonna do just fine.
Is the fire the source?
So let me get this straight.
Everyone else on the balcony?
Important question.
Important question. This building. Sorry,
we're at the center of the Colosseum, so they can hear us. Can we hear them? Because I don't want to hear this.
No, you guys at the bottom can't hear nearly as well. It seems, however, this is built like the things on the field drift up, but the things above don't quite drift down.
So let me get this straight. We came to this building looking for allies, and the first thing that we do is we rip down the obviously religious significance flame ever burning, and then ripped its pedestal out of the ground and start hammering away at it.
Tore it out by the root.
I'm fixing it.
You know, again, apparently there's no cure for stupidity, except death.
Hey. The last time I did this was very good.
You can't hear us.
So, yes, there is no cure for stupidity except death. Are we taking part in this cure, or are we avoiding it?
Honestly, I don't think there's any hope for Broko. He'll probably just get himself killed at some point, touching the wrong thing.
No, it's not me.
Sindri, I think if something big enough bites back, he'll probably learn his lesson.
He's coachable.
He's dumb, but he can learn.
He can be taught!
And well, Clyde, he's curious, but he doesn't jump all in. He just stays on the sidelines, made it this far, I suppose.
And all that.
As for whether we should stop them, I only have so much patience, and I only have so much will to try and curb other people's actions, and I don't think I'm willing to expend it on this.
Me either. Shall we go?
Is the bird still in the corner?
Cade, you look up at the bird, and the bird is there, but it's not looking at you. It's completely 180'd.
So it's not looking at them either?
No. Yeah, it's behind you. So they're down on the field, and the bird is behind you, and it's looking the opposite direction.
Okay, so question, if it's a chickadee, then its eyes are on opposite sides of its head, so if it's looking in a different direction, it's also looking at us, or is this a bird of prey, and its eyes are in front,
it has antlers, so...
Seeing that, the joking tone in Cade's voice kind of just, cuts off abruptly, and, suddenly Cade just grips the staff a little tighter, and then, is gonna cautiously, turn and move a little bit in that direction that the bird is facing.
Okay.
Rifle over the paralyzed shoulder, and dagger comes out.
Has it not been 24 hours yet?
No. It's been about 10.
It's been close. It was...
I thought we did a long rest, and then we traveled to the...
A long rest is 8 hours.
Yeah, no, it's been...
And then we spent 3 hours to get to the docks.
So it's been 11.
I don't know.
Austin said it took us a good chunk of time to get through the city, so I thought that we would travel for 6.
Yeah, you guys...
DM's doing math. And then an hour rest.
Yeah, DM's
doing math. Rogue useful again.
Yeah, it's been 17 hours, yeah.
Yeah. I've got another long rest before I can use my rifle again.
Just tape it to your arm.
But
Until I
Kane's gonna
redose
kind of
you with
signal to
paralytic.
everyone at the upper part of the stadium to like eyes peeled, let's look up, and possible like danger in that direction.
Yeah, Cade and Roland, you kind of immediately kind of give the signal down to the field, which Broko or Clyde, what? Actually, Broko, you kind of catch sight of this, but Clyde and Sindri are just in the middle of talking back and forth, trying to figure out what to do with this metal. But you kind of catch that something is going on up there. And the Schalt just see a tow of you all kind of get around the corner as Roland and Cade kind of give a look out. And Cade, you see white sails on the horizon, moving towards the cove.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna make a little bit more effort to get the people's attention down below.
Yeah, Broko seems to be looking in your direction, curious as to what happens next.
Yeah, Kane's just gonna be like, kind of like make the circle like come up, and then I'm gonna try and get to a better point where I can see the ship.
Broko will look down to Sindri and go, "Work quickly. Kate signals us to move."
Faster.
Yes. Oh, come on.
Yeah, Sindri, you've chipped off like a few pieces on a corner in this. This has been a couple minutes. They have not given you much time here.
Can I drag it? Is it too heavy for me to drag?
I mean, roll me a general athletics check here. We'll see. So you grab it and you start dragging it, and it is giving like it is pulling up mud and dirt as you just kind of just drag it across this field. It is heavy. It is hundreds of pounds.
Andre, I can appreciate the effort. How are you getting it over the wall?
Broko looks at Sindri and goes, "Can you lift it?"
I can lift it one more time, but I want to get it to the wall.
Broko is gonna open up his bag.
I don't understand.
Put it in the bag.
Wait a second.
It's not going to fit in the bag.
Do it, he says.
Do it now.
I think he's serious.
So you're going to stick his arm in the bag and just be like, expecting to get a foot in to be like, it doesn't fit.
It looks like a pretty large tote bag, and you stick your hand in it, and your arm, you can't feel the bottom.
Just keep reaching further in.
You get up to your shoulder and like have your head half in, and you still can't touch the bottom.
Okay, what do we do with the ball?
He opens it a little wider.
No,
not for the ball. Just kidding.
15 feet of bag opening.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's not quite that big.
I can't believe that. Yeah,
is the pole just as heavy as the pillar?
Elastic edition on the bags.
Probably roughly. The bowl's probably a little bit heavier, just be on pure material. But due to the stone at the end, it makes them slightly more comparable. But the bowl's probably heavier.
Okay.
I think we could probably fit the stake, but it has to be able to fit through the mouth of the bag.
Does it seem like the pole will fit in the bag, DM?
I mean, you can certainly try.
Alright, so you're just like, alright, let's do this.
How does the ship look?
Doesn't look any closer in the past 20
Real
seconds.
quick, Side point of order here. How close does this ship look?
It is just outside of the bay. It is close. It is like already at the island, like it's coming in towards the...
Okay. I see them basically fucking around at the bottom, and...
I'm doing important work.
They are at speed, though. They are working quickly.
I'm gonna give them one more motion, and then I'm gonna start going towards the docks. Like, at a brisk pace. Like, Kate's probably lightly jogging, because I'm not missing this.
Andrew like looks up, sees that, is like, it's go time, and he's going to use his second giant smite and get really big and just pick up the pole and just chuck it straight into the bag and hope nothing bad happens. And like before he even finishes falling into the bag, he's gonna pick up the bowl and start sprinting.
Oh, DM, it's coming with us.
I'm done.
I think another map modification is in order here.
Oh my goodness. So
poor map.
Cinder just picks up this pole and just chucks it into the bag, and it does go into the bag with a and the bag is still intact. And Broko, you kind of tuck it away. And Cinder then just lifts up and just hikes this disc over his head and just begins running towards the edge of the wall. As there is no words for the groan and eye roll that Kate has.
20-foot fall, he just like punts it up and just jumps and flips over, picks it back up, and just keeps running full speed. Because I assume my arm can reach the
very visible.
Oh yeah,
it's
with a giant flaming bowl over my head, 14 feet tall. Wait, hey, where are we going? Oh shit, hey!
And again, you guys are 20 feet
the other way.
You guys are 20 feet down, and the stair or the kind of like seats kind of raise up to where the doors are. So while Kate and Roland are up by the doors, you guys are well down, and so you can't see anything yet. Kind of nestled into here. But Sindri, as you quickly rush towards the edge of the wall, what are you doing with the bowl?
I'm just gonna like down and go.
All right, give me an athletics check.
All right, come on, don't fail me now. Yeah, 22.
All right, with a heave, the bowl just lifts up and slides over the edge and kind of slams down on the seats. And there is a as some of the stone in the seats kind of cracks and crumbles, and the bowl begins to kind of shift and slides down the seats before coming to rest at the banister on the edge of the balcony. But it is up there.
He's going to jump up, grab the lip, and like pull himself over and yell down behind him, "Someone grab my rope!" and picks the bowl back up and starts running again.
Yeah, grab that rope. Without it, we only have 50 feet.
Yeah. So Cinder, you grab on, and just by grabbing on and pulling yourself up, like the banister is crumbling beneath you, and you're more like kind of climbing up through the debris, and you're picking this up and continuing.
Wrecking ball.
And you're continuing with the bowl?
Yeah. That's my bowl.
So he gets to the door and goes,
for 1 minute, that's his bowl.
Yeah, and the doorways...
I'm dead sprinting.
The doorways are large. The openings probably at the top are about 12 feet high.
Just tilt it.
And Cade...
hands turn on the side and give it a big push.
Cade and Roland, you see as this bowl is lobbed up onto the top, and Sindri climbs up and picks it back up and is lumbering towards the door that you guys are at. Is there anything that you guys are doing?
In between these gigantic strides, you see Broko with Clyde on his shoulders, just like collecting the rope and coiling it up.
We're all whining.
Cade does not.
We're gonna be happy I
He
got this
currently
later
has. I'm just gonna turn and walk out the door towards the docks.
Okay.
The next
At least
arc
now the
will be
ship
fighting
can see
vampires.
us.
Yeah.
Roland,
The
what
next arc will be us fighting vampires, and you'll be so happy I did this.
Roland, what are you doing in response to just like being at the doorway and seeing giant Sindri coming with this brazier above his head?
Oh, Roland left with Cade.
Okay.
Death is the only cure for stupidity, and he is not participating.
Well,
in that cure.
stupidity's coming for you.
Okay, so 14-foot Sindri
he is
holding a
bleeding.
10-foot bowl. Sindri,
Yeah,
you
it's
reach a
coming at you
12-foot
at its
opening
sprint.
door. What are you doing?
So I guess I'm going to try to can I put it like this and squeeze through the door? Or is it a width issue too?
No.
What are my dimensions I have to work?
Yeah, no, you set it down on the ground and kind of sidestep through, and you can feel your magic already getting close to fading, and you're starting to feel yourself beginning to shrink as you make it through the other side of the opening.
Do I think I can pull this normally?
It's gonna be tough.
I don't think I have anything that will help me with this.
And you're still 20 minutes from the dock.
Oh yeah, that's. I'm just gonna get as far as I can with this until I get small, and I'm like, ooh, man.
Just turn it on its side. Turn it on its side and give it a roll.
That's what I'm considering, but
See how
because it's
far
small,
it
it'll
goes.
just roll in a circle. It won't go anywhere.
Also, for the record, just to, even though it piques my curiosity, I probably would have left with Kate and Roland.
And you guys are walking down to the docks and seeing this giant just carrying this bowl, just running as he's just shrinking smaller and smaller and smaller. And then finally kind of just tosses it off to the side.
Oh, boy.
And he's just like, I did it.
Who's the giant?
While that is happening, Cade, while moving down towards the docks, would just like the minute to pop out the spyglass, and does she see a flag flying above that ship?
Cade, you kind of pull
That's
out.
a floating disc.
You pull out a spyglass and you can see the ship. It is now well within the bay, kind of moving in the direction of where those long piers are. And you guys are up on a hill, so you know that they saw at least something of what happened if they were paying out all
They
attention.
better have saw me. So they're
Yeah.
just not looking.
And
Giant silver flame.
Giant jumps out of a building with a giant bowl with
Yeah.
flames coming out.
and it is
Every
a
single time
large.
I've ever seen one.
It is a large wooden ship, and all the sails are kind of furled up as it is beginning to make harbor, but you don't see any colors flying on the ship.
Okay, so there's no identifying markers at all.
No, not that you can see.
Okay, nope, I'm gonna keep making my way towards the docks.
All right, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, best case, they're friends and they will get us off the island. Worst case, they're enemies and they brought us a ship.
All right, so you all are making your way back down to the dock. Roland or Broko and Clyde, you kind of picking up the rope and kind of following down behind Sindri. Are you guys also headed down to the docks, or is there anything else that you guys are doing?
Now that the door has been blocked by fire.
Yeah, I think
I
as
got a
Sindri
little
took
bit
off
after door.
at a run, we were sort of casually following behind him.
All right.
I'm gonna.
Clyde, you're muted.
Yeah.
If Clyde doesn't have to walk, he's not going to walk.
So just still sitting on Boko's shoulders.
Absolutely. He lost his cart. His feet's been hurting.
But you've still got
This
your
is
5 foot
happening.
pole.
He's gonna yell down. Sindri's gonna yell out down at the Schalt. Hey, you want to help me transport some building materials? I know you were looking for a lot. I got a lot.
And then just look up and kind of clamp the hand a little bit. I mean, I've already got what I needed to build the thing, but I mean...
This is my turn!
Yeah. I guess that is fair. I am a bit concerned.
Keep walking.
I'm gonna tying a rope to the pole so you can start dragging it behind me. Actually, no, I'll probably just push it. We'll see.
Tilt
I don't
it
know what to
upward
do.
so it's dragging across the buildings and he rolls it.
Give me an
Get it to the
athletics
nearest
check.
hill and just like scoot down the hill on it.
Because we're going to the dock, so it should be downhill. This should be easy.
How are you
It
gonna
is
stop
downhill.
it?
I wouldn't say it's easy.
I'm just gonna be pushing it.
Sled.
But yeah, you can give me an athletics check, Sindri.
Alright, come on, keep going good. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh my fuck.
So you are pulling and pulling on this thing, and it's moving, but it's slow. Like you're exerting tons of effort to move it a few inches at a time.
Is anyone helping me? I have requested the Schultz and Broko and Clyde, but I feel like
reach into my bag
Nah, you got it.
and
I believe you.
hand you a crowbar.
Clyde will hand you your rope.
Just from the Clyde/Boko tower, you get 2 hands with tools.
Good luck.
The Clyde Boko Tower.
My God.
Is the Schultz coming to my call for assistance?
I'll help out, I suppose. I'll
Yes.
be back.
Okay.
I
so
do owe it to you all for helping me find the metal.
I
reasonable
helped you
party.
extract the metal, and I have worked with you building your armor. I am in this.
Reasonable party of Cade, Roland, Jazeera.
Oh, the ship!
I'm reasonable. I just owe a favor.
The Schultz is being converted.
Suckered into it.
Yeah, you
Oh,
owe more than one favor, and one of your favors has died, and the other is running with Cade.
Yes. So
Yeah.
so Cade.
anyways,
Yeah. Go
I'm
ahead.
assuming we're all going to the docks, and then the unreasonable party is trying to move this.
I think
Pull the
Boko,
fire.
Boko and
No,
Clyde are
no.
followed down after you guys. It's just the Schultz and Sindri, and the Schultz very, very reluctantly.
Do you have anything like a slab we could put it on to help pull it better? Or steam power? You said it can do a lot of things.
Slap some rockets on that bad boy and take off.
Andrew's flaming disc.
All right. But anyway, as the rest of you have made it down towards the dock, you do see this massive wooden ship with these kind of gray-white sails that is kind of pulling up and kind of finding one of these spots on this long pier. And Roland and Cade, you are kind of on the edge of the docks seeing this thing. Are you headed out towards the ship?
They brought us a very nice ship, yes.
I would approach,
All right.
and
I'm
still no
wishing
identifying
this
markers
came
on the
8
ship.
Yeah, I'm wishing this came 8 hours later so I could actually use my rifle.
Or we'd already have the flame down there. It'd be even better.
You don't
Yes,
see.
let's bring an ever-burning flame right onto the
It's
only
not
ship
hot
we've seen
and
in
it doesn't
weeks.
burn, so it's fine.
Yeah, see?
It burns selectively. For all we know, it burns everything that can get us off this fucking island.
Or maybe it just burns demonic things because
Think
it's
of how amazing an armor made of this would be.
No, this is
I'm
celestial
not
space
making an
person.
armor out of this.
If
I don't
this
think
is a
every
demonic
time-
ship, I will take it. Don't burn my demonic ship. Let me off this island.
Okay. Anyway, Cade and Roland, as you both are headed up. Cade, you don't spy any markings, but what you do spy is at the front of the ship. There is a large kind of wooden lion that is built out at the front that seems to be kind of roaring and pouncing towards out that is built out of wood that is set into the front of this ship. And as you're kind of walking down, you immediately hear a whistle and see a figure kind of giving you a wave from atop the ship. And they kind of grab a line and kind of spin off the edge of the ship and slide down the line until they hit their boots onto the dock and kind of give you a wave. And you see the twirl of kind of this thick leather coat and this green-skinned half-orc that stands in these leather pants with this kind of smoking cigarette and this tight-cropped beard as he kind of looks at you all and gives kind of a bit of a bow to you. Well, how you all doing? You can call me Maddington, Israel E. Maddington, at your service. That's where we're going to go ahead and leave it off for tonight. And we will catch you all with that after Thanksgiving as we see where things go from here. Thank you all for tuning in.